All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are taking a look at TORO, TORO, and HUBC. Look, today was a really crazy day for the stock. There were moments where it was well over 50%. I mean, you can see the size of the wick up here, right? So, kind of an unfortunate ending, the fact that it's around sub 20. Obviously, still a beautiful percent if you were here, right? But yeah, we'll talk about essentially why it actually wasn't too surprising that today happened. I really wish I got in it. I didn't make any money, but yeah, there was a little less randomness to today, and then what will tomorrow look like? All right. So before we get into more details, real quick, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages, but again, this one's new, so we actually only have one. This thing has not even been trading for 20 days, right? We only have an 8 moving average. From there, when we're done up, I do draw these horizontal support and resistance lines. Sorry about that. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume. Again, MACD does not exist. I don't pretend to know the math behind these lines, but yeah, whatever. I think I'm assuming you probably need like 26 days to get the first one, if I had to guess, but I have no idea. And we have a little bit of an RSI right here, which is maybe this is the 14th, right? Because the 14 is there. So, but yeah, this is one of the goods and the bads of having not that much information, right? Once something good happens, it kind of is almost enough to trigger the rest to go wild, right? Which is really what happened here. Really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it really does help with the YouTube algos. And then I am not perfect, so don't feel bad if you disagree with anything I got to say. Okay, let's take a look at the charts. And it's been a while since I've looked at this one. I didn't even have an alert set. I didn't even know that we broke the 8 yesterday, but breaking the 8 yesterday was really important. I always say bad things happen under the 8 moving average, and clearly that's exactly what we see here, right? Yesterday we broke, and man, today it does look like we confirmed. What also just really escalated a lot of it was once that candle broke right there, there was just nothing, right? Because as I zoom out after that, did I freeze it by zooming out too much? Oh, come on. Oh, I'm frozen. There we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Once that broke, there's just nothing here stopping it, right? So what did stop it was on the hourly, all right? I was actually quite surprised that this candle was even able to get over the 100 moving average on the hourly. But yeah, the daily, I mean, it just really looked like it wanted to come here, right? And that's where you kind of have to like change your time frames to give you a view. But I was watching this thing. I really was sad that I didn't get in. Like I said, what helped me was when this crashed, the other stock that I jumped in on took off. I'll just show it real quick. TRKA. Literally, those last 2 candles that were red on the other one were just silly green on this one, right? So I really think it just like all that volume moved into the other one if I had to guess, right? But let's talk about tomorrow, okay? Because we actually are still in a really good place. We still closed over this guy. We still did confirm that we're over the 8 moving average. The only thing I don't like is this volume right here. Yesterday, we only had 300,000 shares. Today, we had almost 25 million shares, right? That's a crazy jump. What really matters tomorrow is, are we going to hold volume or not? Are we going to stay in the like 20 million range? Are we going to drop all the way to like 12 or 10? Or man, are we going to drop to like sub single digit millions or even just that single digit million, right? Anything 10 or below is going to be horrible. Honestly, anything like 17 or below, right? Like you really don't want to go much lower than 20. Volume is king and you cannot have a silly drop, right? A big volume spike does this. So really, what am I looking at again? Am I going to set an alert? For sure I am, right? If we go just a little bit higher, I would love to know if this bad boy opens a penny higher, right? Let me know if we're going to start going up. From there, I'm very much watching volume. I need to make sure a lot of people still care about this tomorrow because, yeah, there are reasons to believe we'll come to 350 if this thing does well again. And again, going from almost 2 to 3, a little past 3, that's huge, 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 right? So yeah, hopefully we'll fill most of this wick, fill this nice little gap and come here, and then we'll start talking about the other lines from there. What I will do, I'll go ahead and put this right there. I think that's a better thing than just double stacking this one, because now we at least do have another green candle. So I like that there. Cool. There's probably no reason to talk about the weekly. Yeah, there's not much reason to talk about the weekly, right? Because it's only been a little bit. So cool. I do think that is it for Toro. Okay, HUBC. Look, I say this so often, and I'm going to say it again. You can't think about $10 dreams when you just haven't broken two whatever, or you're still struggling with the one whatevers, right? So there was some really cool movement happening. There was what looked like reason to believe the gap fill was going to fill, but then ultimately this 20 moving average just stopped whatever, whatever hopes were here, right? It's sad, but it is what it is, right? The one really scary thing is actually we are now, as of today, below our all-time low support. Clearly, we haven't crossed into all-time lows like we've been all the way down here at one point with this stock, right? But this is the last strong green candle. We closed pretty significantly under the 144 line as well, right? So, man, HUBC, there's a lot of reason to believe we're gonna fall unless this line is actually really, really strong. You know what I mean? But end of the day, I really wouldn't touch this stock probably till here. I don't think I'd really be that interested until we crossed 180, 190, right? Because, yeah, 190, the 8 moving average is at 189 over there. So you can consider trying to make the trade from down here maybe to this line. But again, yeah, for me, I really, really wouldn't. Bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. Really bad things happen when you're under all-time lows. I don't like that this RSI looks like it actually wants to start going lower. That's a 48. Like, there's plenty of room for it to go down, and I would hate for that to happen under all-time lows. And man, it's been a while since we've even seen a remote green candle here, right? So I think there's a lot more reason to be scared here than there is to believe that we're going to do some TRKA like meme movement. And don't get me wrong, I think if we were to do some meme movement, again, I'd still rather catch it right here at that 180, 190, right? So I'm actually not even sending an alert on this video if you want to know the truth, because again, I think there's still a little bit more this bad boy needs to prove before I'd even really consider it. What I actually really think probably needs to happen is this 8 moving average needs to get under the 170, and then that 170 would probably be my trigger point. But I don't like I would want it to be 170, but I don't like that 170 is under both the 8 and the 20. I would want it to be over it. So that's actually why I'm not setting an alert on this thing. But again, that's just my trading style and thoughts, right? So but again, more reason to be worried here than not. So I think I actually have time to throw in an extra one. I'm going to show this stock real quick. So look, LUNR had some crazy stuff happen. There's way too many lines. Let's delete some lines and clean this up a little bit. Okay, LUNR, I'll be honest with you, when I saw Toro and Tarka start doing their things, I peeked over at LUNR. LUNR's volume just, man, it's been really low, and clearly we're under all moving averages. That's not a good place to be, okay? If this thing can get over, what is it, 1130, if it can get over the 200 moving average, it'll obviously get it over the 8 moving average, which is at 11. That could be an interesting consideration, because then you might come to like 13, then you might even make a move to like 16. Obviously it'll get a little sillier if it crosses 16. That's definitely your money line, 1625. If you can break 1625, man, that could be real silly to like 22, and then obviously stupid if it passes 22, right? But, I for sure would not touch this under 1130. I'll go ahead and set an alert for 1130, though. I actually wouldn't mind knowing. Okay. From 1130, like I said, this is your next point, hopefully 1280. That's your next point, hopefully 15. For sure, I want to know 1626. That is our money line, and a very important one to know. So, but again, this one still has a lot more to prove, but again, came to my mind when I saw the other ones run. So, hey, if you disagree with anything, throw them in the comments. Otherwise, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.